In this episode of Repro Roundup, we'll take a look at an unreleased prototype on the Super Nintendo. It was one of the most highly anticipated games to be canceled by Nintendo ever. This is Starfox 2. In 1993, a new Nintendo franchise was born with the critical success of Starfox on the Super Nintendo. Starfox was very innovative for the time, being the first Nintendo game to use 3D polygon graphics through the use of the Super FX chip. Quickly after the game's release, plans and development for a sequel were already underway by Nintendo and Argonaut Games. In order to upgrade from the original, an updated chipset would be required, known as the Super FX2. This chip was twice as fast as the original, allowing more polygons, more detailed surfaces, and more sprites on the screen at one time. A beta version of the game was available for demo at the 1995 Winter CES, an electronics trade show where developers would preview upcoming games and products. The game was 40% complete at the time, and generally well praised by those in attendance. No further updates of the game were heard in the following months, and rumors circulated that the game had been cancelled. These rumors were deflated, however, in the September 1995 issue of Nintendo Power, stating that the game was finishing up as this issue was going to press. The Japanese version of the game was fully completed in the summer of 1995 and nearly ready for release. Starfox 2 is a direct sequel to the original game. Emperor Andros has returned with a new fleet of battleships to conquer the Lylat system and destroy Corneria. General Pepper calls upon the Starfox team with the return of Fox, Peppy, Slippy, and Falco. Two new female characters are also introduced to the team, Miyu, the Lynx, and a white poodle named Faye. You select a team of two characters, each piloting an R-Wing with unique attributes that affect your health, speed, and attack power. Where the first installment had linear stage progressions, you now have the ability to travel freely across the Lylat system. The game incorporates a real-time mode on the map screen, requiring a new level of strategy. Your objective is to take down enemy bases and battleships while intercepting missiles and mercenaries that are targeted at Corneria. When you contact the enemy forces, the game mode switches to a first-person action perspective where you engage in aerial dogfights. Here you have improved freedom of movement from the original, with a true 3D atmosphere instead of an on-rail system. Comparatively, Starfox 2 has notably better graphics with more detailed sprites and textured backgrounds. You also have some improved gameplay mechanics with visible crosshairs for targeting, a lock-on ability, and chargeable shots. When you encounter battleships and planet bases, you approach in your R-Wing and dock onto the target. Here the game mode changes significantly as you control a new vehicle in a third-person view. The walker moves more slowly but has more responsive turning in the tight corridors. You can freely switch between the R-Wing and walker as you proceed through the base to take down the core generator. As you progress through the game, you are also presented with boss fights, all leading up to a final showdown with Andros. The main game is fairly short as it can be completed in about 45 minutes, but it does offer varying difficulty levels which add more enemies and bases for you to destroy. There are also collectible coins hidden through the game, and a scoring system to help add some replay value. Like most first-party Nintendo titles, Starfox 2 has an excellent soundtrack, with diverse music that is fitting for the atmosphere and matches the intense energy of the game. While the game was near completion in 1995, it was repeatedly delayed. Nintendo was focusing the majority of its efforts on the new Nintendo 64, which they hoped to release the following year. They wanted there to be a clear differentiation between the 3D capabilities of the Super Nintendo and the N64. Star Fox 2 was unfortunately cancelled as Nintendo wanted to release the next Star Fox game on the newest hardware available. Although the game never came out, it did influence future Nintendo games, including several elements that were adapted in Star Fox 64. In the late 90s, a ROM file was leaked for a prototype of Star Fox 2. The game was debugged and fan-translated to English, with a final completion in 2002. While an official release would have likely been very successful, this project allows Star Fox fans to enjoy what some consider to be one of the best games in the series.